Hello YouTube, what's going on? Dubstep Archer here. I'm making my debut. Now I'm going to start you off by showing you how to make a Minecraft server. And let's get started. First you want to go ahead. I will have a link in the description for the server download to get you started. So let's go ahead and get this. Just download this. This should be the file that you get. I'm going to save this to my desktop, but I don't need it, so I just exit that. Alright, so basically once you have it downloaded, you should get this testserver.zip. Go ahead and extract this with WinRAR, 7-zip, or just the default Windows. It doesn't really matter. And you want to open the file that you get from there. And you're going to need Java for this, so I have them be installs for them. You got the X64. Those are if you have the 64-bit operating system, and i5-86, and that's for if you have the 32-bit operating system. Alright, so once you have those installed or whatever, you can go ahead and open your server. In the start.txt, I will have a copy and paste for you in the description where you can just copy and paste this in there. But you should have this. Okay, and I will explain to you how to allocate more RAM if necessary, but the default is set for 1 gig. If you need to allocate more RAM, I will also have this in the description where you can change this. So naturally I use like 4 gigs at a time, so I would go ahead and change that. Alright, and then once you have chosen your amount of allocated RAM, you want to go to Save As, and you want to change that TXT to BAT, start.bat. You can save, once you save it, you want to go ahead and click that. See, your server will be launching. Once it launches, you want to go ahead and X that out, and these files should come up. And then this would be your server properties. Okay, so you have your message of the day, your online mode, and stuff like that. Yeah. Let's see. If you're running cracked, you want to change your online mode to false. Your NPCs, those would be like, NPCs would be something like villagers, stuff like that. PvP, player versus player battling. I would leave that to true in case you decide to download some plugins for that, to toggle it and stuff like that. Allowing flight, basically if you want to fly while in survival mode, I'd recommend keeping that as false. If you really want to get your server popular and stuff like that, keep the cheaters out. Spawning animals, basically spawning all the mobs, spawning cows, pigs, and stuff like that. And your server IP address, you want to leave this blank. Your server port, since I'm already running a server right now, I'm going to go ahead and change it to 25564. 25565 is the default, and I will show you how to port for it later on. Your message of the day is going to be what you see when you first show up, like this, for example. See, like these. Yeah. So basically, say you want to just say hello. Once you're done with that, you can go ahead and save that to your properties. And once that is done, you want to go ahead and port forward. Doesn't matter which area you do it first, but yeah. So what you want to do, depending on what operating system you're running on, if you're running Windows 7, you want to go ahead, just open it and click this. But if you're running Windows XP, you want to go ahead and type in run, or not run, just click run, which should be like this. And you do want to open up CMD. Once that opens up, you want to go ahead and type in ipconfig. Okay, once that goes up, depending on whether or not you're using wireless, it will show your IPv4 address. You want to look for that. And since I'm using a wireless, I'm going to go to my wireless LAN adapter. Okay, once you do that, you want to sign into your router. So you want to type in your default gateway that you have set up there. So let's go ahead and look for that. Alright. Alright. Once you do that, depending on what you have, you should be prompted to authenticate yourself. You want to go ahead and put in your username. Your username should be default admin, and your password should be password. I don't know. You can check your router's instructions. There should be a setup and stuff. So once you do that, you want to look for something called port forwarding / port triggering. Oh, okay, hold on. Excuse me a second. Made a mistake. Let's go ahead and change that to 25566. Alright, so now what you want to do, because I'm using Netgear, I would want to add a custom service. And I would name it something like Minecraft. But since I've already got this set up, I'll just call it Minecraft Test. Your service type, it doesn't matter. I personally think you should just keep it as TCP/UDP. Your starting port and ending port are exactly the same all the time, so it would be 2556 whatever that you have. So since I'm using 25565 as my port, that's what it would be. Your server address is what I was telling you about before, your IPv4, it will be that. So you'd go ahead and add that. You want to click apply, or whatever they have there for your router, and that will be it for your port forwarding. Okay, so let's go ahead and close this out. Now you want to go ahead and start your server. You want to let it load. And as you see, all your stuff starts loading. Okay, once it loads, you want to go ahead and get on your Minecraft. You want to go ahead and add your server. Since you are technically the server owner, you can do localhost, but I do run like 2 servers, so that do me like no good. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my IP address. And if you do intend on running multiple servers, you will need to add the port to it. And see, this is the server we have just created. See? As you can see, this is pretty simple, you know. I will show you how to do some commands eventually, but just not today. Alright. I also recommend that you do not use the /reload command because it does, you know, screw over the server. But, holy crap. Yeah. But yeah, that is it for, today's tutorial. Hope this was helpful for you. Have any questions, just post it in the comments. I will check it out and I'll get to you as soon as possible with any information updates that you need. You know, otherwise like and subscribe to my channel. More videos coming out. And see you next time.